Think about your day so far. Are you actually living, or are you just surviving? It is remarkably easy to slip into a passive routine where you are simply existing, burning through hours without moving toward anything meaningful. Every ambition you've mapped out and every version of yourself you've imagined is sitting on the other side of a single universal barrier. To reach them, you have to pass through discomfort. It's a common mistake to look at people who fall short of their goals and assume they lacked natural talent or opportunity. The reality is usually much simpler. Most people fail because they develop a psychological addiction to feeling safe. We treat the comfort zone like a biological sanctuary, a place to rest and recover, but it operates in reverse. It is a self-imposed prison that actively restricts your potential. The danger of this prison is that it doesn't look like a cage. It disguises itself as harmless daily rewards. Like watching just one more episode, mindlessly scrolling for an extra hour, or claiming you've earned a break. Your brain is highly efficient at preserving energy, so it gives you a convenient out, tomorrow. It rationalizes that you can easily tackle the difficult work the next morning, allowing you to enjoy the immediate relief of avoiding effort today. Let's look at the actual mathematics of this choice. This chart maps daily decisions. When you choose to delay a difficult task, even if it's just a tiny concession to stay comfortable, watch what happens over 7 days. That single skipped day cascades into a flat line, a completely lost week of progress. By zooming out to years, you can see how these invisible weeks compound. The top line represents a high trajectory of daily action, and the bottom line is the continued flat line of daily delays. The space between these two lines is the unbridgeable gap between your current reality and what you actually could have achieved. If you are waiting for a frictionless, perfectly aligned moment to start the hard work, you are playing a losing game. Mathematically, that perfect moment will never arrive. If you look closely at highly successful individuals, you'll notice they process time and physical effort entirely differently than the average population. People often assume that high achievers inherently enjoy suffering or have an unnatural tolerance for pain. They don't. They view friction as a strict, mandatory tool required to build something of value. This is the adaptation principle in action. In biology, physical structures like muscle fibers must experience microtrauma, literally tearing under tension. Only after they are stressed do they weave back together thicker and stronger than they were before. The exact same mechanics apply to cognitive and character development. Your mind only expands its capacity when it is forced to process difficult, uncomfortable variables that it hasn't encountered before. Progress strictly requires resistance. Choosing comfort stops growth and initiates biological atrophy. Stepping into that required discomfort usually triggers one primary intense symptom, the feeling of fear when you confront unknown variables. The average human brain interprets this fear as an evolutionary alarm system. It feels the stress, assumes something is wrong, and signals you to retreat immediately to safety. The successful mind treats fear as a navigational compass. This provides empirical evidence that you have crossed the boundary into new productive territory. To trigger those adaptation mechanics we discussed, you have to move aggressively toward the things that scare you, rather than running away from them. You have to seek out the friction. Every single time you push through that initial terror, you force your body and mind to adapt. Behind every iteration of fear lies a biologically and psychologically upgraded version of yourself. Take an objective look at your current daily habits. Now, project that exact trajectory exactly 1 year into the future. Where do those actions lead? There are really only 2 guaranteed emotional outcomes on that timeline. You will either feel profound gratitude for enduring the friction required to grow, or you will carry the heavy, irreversible regret of choosing ease. The biggest mistake you can make is relying on the myth of motivation. If you sit around waiting for a spontaneous emotional desire to do hard work, you will lose. It is a fatal strategic flaw to let your feelings dictate your actions. The choice between growth and stagnation cannot be made tomorrow. It can only be made in the present moment, precisely when taking action feels the most difficult and the most uncomfortable. Daily comfort is highly appealing, but it is fleeting. It fades the moment you wake up the next day. But the consequence of avoiding the hard work? That stays with you. Comfort is temporary, but a wasted life is permanent.
If this message made you stronger, don't let it end here. Join the Nexcipline movement. Subscribe, turn on notifications, and become stronger, one day at a time.